Good evening. Speed Gaming. Speed Gaming 4. And welcome to more Week 6 action in the Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 5. Tonight we've got some more Pseudo Boots Cross Keys. It's going to be Krellbell of OK Game and Andy of the Perfect Unadulterated Gaming Squad, or Pugs. That's so much easier to say. I'm Radical Sniper 99, joined tonight by Wolflink with Suryu X and Relkin on the tracking. Hello, Wolflink.
Good evening, everyone, and this is gonna be probably a really hard-fought fight. This is game 2 between these two teams here, first off, and currently, the Team Pugs over there is 9-2 in the league. So a very strong team. I believe that has clinched them for their playoff spot, so they're just playing for standing at this point. Meanwhile, Team OK Game is 6-5 right now. So they're looking to get a win here to make sure they can get into the playoffs position. And of course, we're playing Pseudo Boots Cross Keys here. Just to give you guys a brief overview, what Pseudo Boots is we have the dash functionality of boots and nothing else. Anything that we would use the boots to normally check is disabled with Pseudo Boots until we find the real ones. And of course, Cross Keys, well, you've heard of Key Sandy, you've heard of Entrance. We've just mixed the two together. The main thing here is when you have a connector in this entrance randomizer, for example, the old man there, that's a connector. If you come out the other side, you could be in Dark World.
Yeah, so we're taking those early bombs out of Link's house for Andy to check that. But we're getting very conventional starts to our cross keys play here. Both of them are going to go over to Witch's Hut, see what this is, and then I'm guessing we'll get a Houlihan from both. We do see that the Pickle is also part of the bomb prize pack there, so not a bad find. And that's King's Tomb over at the Witch's Hut.
And a hammer to start things out for both of our runners. That is very early and very nice to see. That is going to be their main weapon for a little bit of this.
Luckily, it's not Swordless Week anymore, so there are swords. They do exist. We just got to find them.
Indeed.
So the good thing about these boots, you know, you were talking about the fact that they're not logical boots, but what they can provide is we still can get enough of a bonk off of them to get these kinds of checks. Andy, seeing that it's a good drop down for Lumberjack Ledge, he's just gonna scout it, just compass, and here goes the Houlihan's.
Right, now just to clarify up what the Key Sandy side of this is, for anyone who may not be aware, all those small keys, big keys, maps, compasses that you just saw, one of those compasses, normally they're in their dungeons, but in Key Sandy we've allowed them to be anywhere in the item pool. And this has also added some extra nuances to logic. For example, the map for the overworld, you notice none of our runners have checked it yet. That's because you need to have the map in order to see that overworld information. There are a couple other ways, Sahasrara, the bomb vendor, but you need to find those maps for the map check. And the compasses, they only give you the item counts here in this mode, but next week, when it comes to the Randomizer, they'll tell you what the boss is, so they're a little bit more useful there. There is Ganon. He is in the castle dropdown, I believe.
Yep, that is the Uncle Drop for that check, or for that one. We did also see Mimic Cave over at the Lake Hylia shop. Nothing in there, but nice to, you know, be able to do that your first trip. But Krellbell finds Paradox Cave, the middle entrance to Paradox Cave there at the Lake Hylia Fortune Teller.
And meanwhile, we saw where the sanctuary was, and unfortunately, that is in a very weird spot as we get the map to Misery Mire there in the Paradise Cave. It's in the Lumberjack tree.
Yeah, that's never a great feeling, unfortunately. You know, then you're tasked with that gamble of, do I want to go and do, you know, steal the key, or do I want to go and do Zelda Cell? They're both terrible decisions. It's one of those ones you don't envy any runner having to make that decision. But Crowball getting through all those mini mold arms, he does get a key to Ice Palace and some money. I didn't really notice anything great out of these checks, though.
He did also get a map to Swamp Palace as well, so have that information for later, but right now it's not going to be too important.
Yeah, I'm not always big on too much care for that. Like, there's definitely need for maps, and they help, but part of this mode definitely comes down to, if I find a dungeon and I can do something in it, you're just gonna go and do it because, like, especially early, you just need to get checks done, and that's just the best way to do it. We do get our bottom of Agina over in the desert area, and meanwhile Andy found Agina and nothing there.
Desert Ledge, meanwhile, does have a big key, and some of those are optional, but the majority of them are mandatory. And we should also mention that, as we get the treasure this game only having us the blue boomerang, the goal for this is not to defeat Ganon, so we do not necessarily need to climb GT and defeat Aghanim 2. We just need to get the 7 crystals and go fight Ganon over at Hyrule Castle's drop down.
Meanwhile, Krellbell does find the connector there at the desert cave area. He's gonna take this and ends up on Bumper Ledge. That's actually a really good connector.
Yep, and it's gonna opt the bunny walk.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I love this early bunny walk. Yeah. I was gonna say, if you're going to walk up this way, I think you at least check Dark Lumberjack house. I don't think you play too much into this, though.
Watershed, meanwhile, found for Andy.
Yeah, nice couple items at the Smith house. The bigger deal here is Andy also found the useless fairy cave at the Magic Bat dropdown. That does mean an item cave will be at Pyramid.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's our Swamp Palace. Unfortunately, we can't enter Swamp Palace just yet because we need the small key to go through the first door. And on top of that, we need to find the dam location, which is somewhere out there as well. For the purposes of entrance, the dam stays drained permanently in this mode.
I will say a great vanilla bottle there for Andy at the back of the tavern. This time with a B in it.
Yep, one of the few entrances that it stays consistent because it's the only one you enter from above. Book of Medora and a 20 rupee fact found for Andy. The book is going to be useful to some degree.
And he trades that gold B for a fairy.
Now, the only other consistent saving point to note is Link's house is always the same, so you get a consistent starting point in entrance. Which does come into play every now and then.
And he found Hyrule Castle West entrance, and there is Misery Mire there at the bombable hut in Kakariko.
Yeah, normally a good place to resupply, but in this case, you might have to do it as a dungeon. Can't go in yet without the hookshot, and I don't think the pseudo boots allows them to bonk across that gap. I think they can.
No, they do not. It's the only gaps you can really bonk using those pseudo boots is the if you're at the TR big chest, you can use that to bonk over the rail on the left side to get to the left exit. You can also use them to bonk across the Ice Armos gap in GT. Those are the really only two that actually work that a lot of people like to do still.
Yeah, because any bonk rock checks, anything else, those are all unable to be done. They can't. I don't think you can use any tricks with them, like the item dash or.
You can item dash, and you can hook speed or spin speed. All those work still. Just the big one is no hovering.
Ah. Big key to Desert Palace found.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't necessarily put the boss of Desert Palace in logic.
Correct. You do still need the small key for it. Not that our runners will care, but, just a fact that we have to be aware of as we also see Ice Palace. Kakariko very much having a lot of interesting dungeon. I count 4 dungeons in Kakariko: Ice, Swamp, Hyrule Castle, and Mire. So
And Hyrule Castle is also a connector, and if they really wanted to, they could just also ignore the key logic and skip to the backside there as we find the small key to Skullwoods here in the dam. And we'll see what we get come from this. Now, people may be wondering why we would need the Desert Palace small key, and that's just simply because there is a sort of key logic in place that basically assures that every door that's available to you can be opened at the same time. It's a failsafe to make sure that you don't get soft locked, basically. So, because there is a small key in a pot in the back of Desert, but you could use that in the front to open up the small key door instead of going to Ortland Mola's, that means you're a key short for reaching the boss, and as a result, you'll need to find the small key and the big key anyway. So it
we do.
accounts.
Oh, sorry. We did. I was just gonna say we did see the Cackwell over at the Sanctuary dropdown.
A good sign there.
And I like the checking the stun prize there from Krellbell. Just single rupee, so not really helpful. But, you know, you really like that info, and it was a good opportunity for him to check that out.
So yeah, so far, our runners are just doing their normal checks here. There's sort of like 3 stages to go mode here in Cross Keys. You have the obvious item go mode. You have, of course, getting all the keys you need for the key go mode side of it. And then there's just knowing where everything is in general. As
Yeah, I would say
inside a desert.
So yeah, that's actually 5 dungeons in Kakariko. But yeah, in terms of like how I would suggest a Cross Keys seed goes, you know, you're talking about stages of go mode. I look at this as stages of a seed. So you start off and you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna mass check entrances. I'm gonna do every entrance that I can get to, see what I get out of it. If it's got multiple items, I'll probably try to get those items. Then I get to the stage where I've got the ability to start clearing dungeons. So, hey, I've got all the items to go through Palace of Darkness. Let me do all of Pod here. Oh, I've got Ice Palace full clearable. Let me do all of Ice. And then you get down to the nitty gritty. You're down to that last few. You're like, I'm missing a key. I'm missing an item. I'm missing an entrance. Let's, you know, let me continue clearing what I can. But you're just like, where is it? Where's that last thing? And that's the scary part of this mode. You talk to any runner and they're going to be like, you know, if I get down to one item and it's one item for me and one item for my opponent, you just realize I'm playing a 50-50 game here, and like I might win the coin flip and they might win the coin flip. You hate it, but that's the game.
So, in not so many words, you're saying that there is sort of an information gathering phase, a dungeon clearing phase, and then the final item hunt phase.
And like that final item phase could just be like you're in to go anyway. Like those second and third phases, like what'll happen is the beginning game of a Cross Key seed is quite slow. Or at least feels slow. And then you get through that initial start and you're just like, we got to just motor. And Andy finds his way up onto Death Mountain there, that Desert Palace main entrance at the top, or sorry, the middle Paradox entrance.
Chicken Hunt found here as well. I don't think Andy can do too much here though without the Titansmiths. I think
there's 3 entrances. There's 3 entrances in this area. There's this one, which is the bottom of Spiral Cave, and then there's the other 2 by the bottom of Paradox. You are right. That entrance there is, of course, locked by the mitts. There's also ways to get it if we get like a pearl and a mirror and find ourselves on Dark Death Mountain, but that or we get to the top. So, oh, that's a really good find. Andy finding the top of Super Bunny Caves for 2 free chests And also Andy knowing, hey, if I find the bottom of Super Bunny later, I don't have to do it.
Okay, the TR-104 and the flute, which is a great pickup there. That allows them to fast travel.
That's a massive find this early. There's your mobility to start. And, you know, we already have plenty of mobility with pseudo boots, but the fact that you have the flute just means I can go faster.
Yeah, there's no doubt out of my mind that Andy's going to turn on that flute. And this will allow him to start checking left side mountain as well, which has a fair amount of entrances, at least 5 if I count right.
7 entrances in total that are available. One of them could have the old man. The old man could also reside at Hera, so we'll find out where that rescue is. But yeah, those 7 entrances aren't too bad. It also allows Andy to kind of avoid the glove-locked entrances. One of the things you can talk to a lot of runners about is, you know, how quickly do you want to make plays towards certain areas? And like, Ice Rod Cave has a glove-locked entrance. The desert area has a glove-locked entrance. So that flute really giving access to Death Mountain says, hey, if you're comfortable with dark rooms, you got a better option than just going for that. And that's what we're going to see. Andy, oh, sorry, I was wrong. He checks what he got from the dam, and it was a bottle with a green goo.
Yeah, not a bad find there as well. Have some extra magic there. And the entrance to the dam is Tower Hera, so a dungeon that we can only do a little bit of scouting in, but still a couple of items available.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the bomb side of things with this. We do have at least some weapon to hit all these crystal switches.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing with Kisani is the dungeons get a lot more value overall. Some items, of course, are going to be locked behind their respective keys, but you basically up the count by at least 3 items and across all dungeons with the big key map and compass out of the way.
According to Seiryu, Hookshot Cave at Saha, so
that's gonna be a good find there once we get that hookshot. Can't do anything yet because amongst the other negations, I believe like we've been mentioning, the bonk distance for the pseudo boots is reduced slightly. So can't take advantage of that sort of like check.
Yeah, bonk shot is not possible, and it also means no hovering there, so not a huge deal. But we do see the Spiral Cave item, nothing this time. But it lets us out at the Checkerboard Cave. Interesting.
Yeah, first look at the Desert Treasure Chest game. We already seen this. But I think Andy had the book, so he can check the desert main entrance here, whereas Krebel did not have the book at the time, so he might get a little bit of an information advantage here.
And that's the thing. For Andy here, like, even if this doesn't result in anything, having the flute, he can exit and just be like, let's fly somewhere else better.
Yeah, so let's see what we got here. Just a fortune teller.
Yep.
Now, with Pyrocast known to us, there is some key logic in place to prevent us from checking most of the checks in there. But we could easily just go down below.
Yeah, we could go all the way to Zelda Cell at this point. It's just a hard decision given what we know about, you know, the 3 items in the back being locked behind Aga.
Well, at the same time, if there's nothing there, we could reset out and then key seal, which I think is a viable strategy with the Aghanim one where it is, with the Lumberjack tree. With
it's definitely possible. It's just a lot of time. That's always the worry when you talk to runners. Like, how much time do I want to put into that? And, you know, we're kind of seeing one of these kinds of, how long do you want to put this play out? And Andy going with the bunny walk right now. Krelbel also checking out the desert checks. We'll see if he gets out that desert main door. That's going to be big for him to find that flute. But yeah, I missed that earlier. Desert left is at Graveyard Ledge, so not a big, like, we're finding a lot of one-off annoying entrances. It's very curious that we have no desire to go do, you know, we don't have to worry about checkerboard. We don't have to worry about graveyard. These are checks that require a mirror and very specific access, and we don't have to even care. That's a good feeling.
So Andy was trying to take a bunny that's there, but got revived. So when you die in the dark world and get revived, you're immediately considered in your light world state. So as long as he stays out of the way of any sort of bunny beams, he'll be fine to explore the center here and get this item.
Yeah, luckily no bunny beams here except under that pot above the big key chest here. We get a small key to Skull. Interesting. We're going to have 2 vanilla small keys, or French vanilla small keys, in this dungeon then.
But yeah, getting back to the Hyrule Castle, I think it depends whether or not the small key to Hyrule Castle comes early or late. And I think if it's late and you don't see the Aghanim keys, I think it's worth the risk to at least consider checking one way and then see if there's nothing doing the key steal. But at the same time, it might just you just want to avoid Aghanim if you can help it.
Oh, of course. No disagreement there. It's just going to be a question of, when does that really come up? But we'll see. I think they're going to delay as much as possible. At least that's the impression I'm getting from Andy. You've got that hammer. That's a great weapon to deal with it. We'll see when they actually go into this play. But I could really see this being, I'm not touching Hyrule Castle for as long as possible, in case maybe I can get that Hyrule Castle small key. But there's a bow, so that's a nice little find.
Indeed, and we actually have information here. I just noticed the little icon on the top left corner here. That's another function on the maps. That's in all modes. This is a pendant dungeon we're going through Skull Woods. So it's pendant skull, but we don't know if it's green pendant or not.
Yeah, and I don't imagine we'll see him too much in terms of a map check. You can keep track of your maps, and I'm sure they're both trying to consider it. It's just, I'm not going to worry about going like, okay, I need to check the map right now. Like, you're going to walk into a dungeon and probably find out if you've got the map already for it.
All right, there's Paradise Gate now for Andy. We've already seen all these items from Krebel.
Yeah, right now we're just going over each other's steps a little bit.
I think once Andy's done here, I think the next play, at least for him, in my mind, is to flute to 8 because, well, actually, no. You ideally want a glove for that, I don't think.
Yep.
Because there's 3 entrances over there, and one of them is locked behind a big stone.
Yeah, so we'll see how that shakes out. I don't know what his thought's going to be there. Did go out the bottom of Paradox to end up at that desert entrance. But both runners have the flute, and Krellbell's up the mountain, and Andy's thinking about it. Looks like he's going to hit the eastern area first. We did see this area already from Krellbell.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see the old man rescued as least with any sort of priority. There is an item behind it, but as we've seen already from Andy, the same equip point's not really that helpful, so there's less incentive to help him out. It's over just in Light World Hype Cave. Yeah,
I mean, it's from an entrance standpoint not really helpful, but I will say I can't imagine you don't go do it. It's a free item, and if you're comfortable enough with that dark room, and I expect both of our runners are, like Krellbell's in there right now. I think that is the old man rescue. Hard to say.
Yeah, no, this is the old man rescue.
Yeah, it looks like it is. He's kicking up the dust. Could probably use his boomerang and hammer to help out as well. There he goes.
Andy Vimo going to be checking Eastern Palace here.
And afterwards, Andy might actually go through to see where the other end of Hookshot Cave goes. Oh, that wasn't actually the Old Man Rescue. That's the back of the Old Man.
All right, so if we can... Intriguing. So we have a direct line there, so... Yeah, the Old Man's not really that useful to save. At least in terms of entrances. You're only saving him for the item.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't pass up the item if I can. But I also say, hey, I've got, apparently we have found Mini Moldorm Cave, and that's another 5-item entrance.
And the Mini Moldors are not behaving.
Good job with that hammer there from Krellbell to finish off the rest of the Mini Moldorms.
Alright, what do we got here? Shovel. The Moon Pearl! Hey, there we go.
Well, and Krellbell's got to be happy with that. He didn't take a lot of time exploring Dark World, so not going to really be too bad. Andy finding the top of Paradox Cave is at Lake Hylia.
Can't really swim there. Although he is going to fake flipper. That was probably one of the shortest setups I've ever seen for fake flipper at that spot.
This is Krellbell's last entrance here, and it is also Old Man Rescue is at Hera tonight. So we will not see an Old Man Rescue, at least for now. We will need either an entrance on top of Death Mountain, or we'll need the mirror to get there. So no Old Man Rescue. Krellbell's going to finish up, though, with the Dark Death Mountain checks here, Spike Cave, and the other West DDM entrance.
And it's Sick Kid. Rewarding us with a big key. Where to? Skullwoods. That is a big key that we do not need in order to fight the boss, but it is unlocking at least a single item check that he has not gone to yet.
Yeah, and I'm sure Krellbell's going to be happy to go do that, because he knows where his connector is to Dark World. So for him, that's like, hey, you know, let me get this all taken care of.
Oh, yeah, with Sidwich, you can't do water walking either.
No, that's because of the lack of Pearl.
Oh, right. That's the other thing.
He would have come out in a water walk if he had his Pearl there.
Right. I forgot about that. I thought it was Sidwich messing with him there.
And I will say, Andy's got one shot at trying to get that small key on the Zora Ledge. He's got 2 bombs and the arrows and the bow, but with only 2 bombs, he's getting one shot at this. And the shovel digs up a mushroom.
Or a truffle. We can turn that in, but without knowing where the potion stuff is, we can't do it. And Andy's saving quits, because I think he realized
he
that
did not get it. He tried and unfortunately did not hit it, so he is out of there. No extra bombs.
Alright, well, the mushroom seems to be turned in. And yeah, Andy seems to be heading over to buy more bombs, which is not a big deal. Or he's heading to Hyrule Castle now. And it looks like he's going to go into the back.
Yeah, we'll see how much he takes. He just did the save and quit, so realistically, he could go for that scum you were talking about. But we'll find out.
Yeah, I think he's going to go down to Zelda's cell first. And if he doesn't find anything of importance, then I think he might do it.
Are 3 bombs important to you, Wolflink?
I mean, those things are still available even without a small key.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, he's got no bombs. I might be a little bit more tempted. Ooh, right in that edge, and does take a tumble.
I mean,
Krellbell's heading back to Dark World.
Yeah. In entrance, I would say the 3 bombs are worth, because you may not have a convenient shop location. Especially if you don't have any bombs currently. Map to Ganon's Tower, not really worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely not one of the other things we really need.
He's getting the key, and it looks like he might be continuing. Meanwhile, Sea House found on the Mog. Only some arrows there.
Yeah, Dark Sanctuary giving us Sea House, but definitely not an item we're looking for. And we're going to get Curiosity Shop next. So yeah, Krellbell knows where his density is at this point, and he's going to play to it.
Curiosity Shop, not one of those locations you normally check, and it's another shop, although it doesn't have that 500 rupee fire shield there.
Did you see Andy is now on the mountain while Krellbell found the Brothers Connector?
Yeah, and he's buying bombs now.
And that's actually a really good connector bringing us to the Dark Shopping Mall. That can be a really tough one to get to. And he's able to cross out at least a couple of those entrances. Still gonna need a glove for the last one.
Now, interesting to note, I saw Andy was back down to 0 bombs. So either he def warped out of Zelda Cell, or he did in fact just hard reset out. We couldn't see it, but he didn't have any bombs, which begs the question: where did they go?
Yeah, we're getting confirmation from Relkin that Andy did a hard reset there. So
okay, so nothing good in Zelda Cell then.
Krellbell found Saha, and Meyer is our green pendant.
Which means Skullwoods is a normal pendant, red-blue. Smoky Turtle Rock, that is our second found, I believe. We do need to have a good handful of them, 3 or 4.
Actually, not to be one of those types to correct too much, but Turtle Rock's actually a really fun dungeon in Cross Keys. You can get away with doing most of TR with like 1 or 2 keys, or like all of TR even. Depending on the entrances we find, there's good case that we could just skip. Find Laser Bridge, you need a key for Trinex. Other than that, you can get like freebie keys to get through the rest of the dungeon.
That's right, I completely forgot about the whole entrance shenanigans you can pull in Turtle Rock. Now, I believe we are listening to Krellbell's audio, and that is Hollow Knight, as someone is asking in chat. Andy, meanwhile, is using the Tunic NMSU, which is also approved.
Yep. So we'll try to swap back and forth between them. Just with Andy, we've been losing some frames from him right now in the restream, so we're gonna go with the Hollow Knight at least for now, just to kind of make sure we get a bit more consistency. So, but yeah, we'll try to switch it up every so often.
Eastern Palace in the treasure chest game.
Yeah, we also found the North Desert entrance at Thieves Town. Yeah, we do need fire to open up the Land Molus fight, so that is why we are not going to see that yet.
I think we've had like 7 dungeons now in the vicinity of Kakariko or the Village of Outcasts. It's kind of insane. There's our Ice Rod, so that'll be helpful if we need to fight Trinex.
The unfortunate part for Krellbell here is we know where a bow is. There is a bow in Skull Woods, and Krellbell is in here without that bow. So if Eastern Palace Big Key's here, there's a chance, he's not going to be able to get a single dip full clear. I was about to say, please don't put that bad juju on me. I really didn't want to speak that into existence. Whew.
Big Key to Meyer found here in Eastern Palace.
And Andy's going to make that same play into Dark World.
Alright, what do we got here in the Eastern Palace? Another heart container. Alright. Andy is going to be heading up to do North Dark World here.
Yeah, just going to hit the Dark Chapel. He'll pretty much take the same little mini route that Krellbell's been on. Yeah, I mean, I'm with Ralkin on this one. I probably dip Eastern here as well. It's just one of those feels bad moments because we know where the bow is. Hindsight routing is a pain. And yes, progressive bows.
That is true. It does feel bad with the bow. At the same time, though, without the big key, the bow doesn't really have any extra value in Eastern Palace.
Yeah,
so
it's just
it
like
feels...
the worry was, you know, here's a vanilla big key or a French vanilla big key to Eastern. And last chance, nope, just another heart container.
Yeah, so overall, I think Krellbell made the right call. Gonna remove the fairy for the Death Warp. Meanwhile, Andy finding the Twins connector. That puts him in Dark Shopping Mall.
Yeah, we saw that from Krellbell. Nothing here. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get that that last entrance.
So I recall that it's called Shopping Mall because that's just a nickname that the entrance folk gave it because of how common shops ended up being over there.
Something like that. We do get an item cave out of the archery game. Nothing important there. But we really do have access to all of Dark World at this point. You know, it's not great. We don't have vanilla Dark World access, but we've got a decent connector and can check a lot.
That was 11 dicks for 50 rupees. No, not bad.
I'd missed that. The Ice Rock Cave. Check on Krellball's side. Must not have been notable enough to care.
Yeah, no, it's only 20 rupees from what I saw. Stubby meanwhile coming up. Another red.
Yeah, continuing to find some money. Krellball's in good shape for money. Andy's not in bad shape either after having done Zora, so neither of them really too worried about their money situation at this point.
Yeah, 500 rupees for the blue mail. Honestly, I think that's okay value. That's...
Yeah, I think the only worry there is having...
Uh-oh. You said worry, and now suddenly GT has shown up.
Yeah, the only thing I would be concerned about having blue mail this early is death warping now. So you're hoping to see a mirror sooner rather than later for Andy if he's going to look at a death warp. And here he finds Eastern. He's not going in. Or is he? He's changing his mind. And I think, you know, both of our runners kind of had that moment of like, do I want to? Do I really want to? And they both are.
Now, I don't know if Krellbell can go to the Stalfos room with bits.
It would be bomb jumps to get to anywhere on those checks. Unfortunately, the boots will not give you the bonks in the left side.
Interesting. Alright, let's check what the hype cave entrance is in the meantime. First look at this one. Oh, it's the hideout, another 5 items.
I mean, that's a hype entrance. It's not hype cave, but I will take a very hype blinds hut.
Small key to Ganon's Tower, 1 of 4.
I will say with, you know, Krellbell not doing the bomb jumps in GT, that is multiple consecutive, that's 2 consecutive bomb jumps to get into that DM room. And it's not always a very, it doesn't always feel like a good check. It's a lot of effort. So I'm not surprised Krellbell's not taking that chance here.
Alright, Vanilla Swamp Palace contains for us... This is just an information area, which we don't need.
Yeah, and hint tiles are off in all pretty much competitive racing anymore. I think the only modes is like door rando. And yeah, I'll agree with Relkin's point there. Like if Crowbell has boots or a hook shot, I think you definitely go for left side play of GT. But without either of them, it's a lot of bomb jump, it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of like you make a small mistake and you're just having to repeat the process over and over again, and it's not a good feeling. But we do get Pod here from the Dark Lake Hylia, and unfortunately, Crowbell's still without that bow. We'll see how much he does.
He's only going to do this one chest, which is the Power Glove, though. That is a huge find. But yeah, this dungeon, very valuable if you can get around. It is a total of 14 items here. Although I think only a handful of them are available to Crowbell right now. A lot of them are locked behind varying amounts of keys. Anywhere from 1 to 6, depending on where the chest is.
Andy definitely did lose some progress there. I'm not sure what happened after that death to in the anti-fairy room. But that was a hard reset, and he definitely lost an ice rod. That was the big thing I noticed, at least. Yeah, I can't say for sure what happened. He wouldn't have reset, I would think. So I'm gonna be curious if that was a crash.
Well, he's backhanded pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And he might just take full advantage of what he knows and just beeline for all the items he has lost.
But Crowbell working through. Hey, those flippers are in logic. He just doesn't know it yet. So nice little find.
And a singular small key to Pod on the right side.
I mean, Pod always has a small key for itself. It's, you know, it's like mitts in swamp, sword in swamp. Like, these are just things that always happen, right?
Wait, is that actually a thing? I actually do not know.
These are memes.
Fair enough. It feels like it half the time, doesn't it, though?
I mean, when a dungeon's got 6 smalls, you feel like you almost inevitably find one there.
Another smoking to Gan's Tower. He is going to be able to use that small key to at least explore a little bit in this dungeon.
Yeah, the hard part is that really only opened up this check logically. And I can't imagine Crowbell's going to take the time to go all the way back on right side to do that again. And I really dislike that play in principle, so I hope he doesn't, and he doesn't. Good.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense not to go for that just yet.
Yeah, and I will say, like, Andy knowing where the ice rod is, he's at least going with the idea that I don't want to rush it. Like, I'm gonna hope I can get the ice, or Eastern Big.
Bulky to Dark Palace found from the brewery, and Andy has stumbled upon GT right now. We'll see how DP decides to go. Probably not going to invest in the time like we've been mentioning, but
I will say, the one thing, looking at Crowbell's route here, I probably prefer checking Dark Potion and Pyramid Ledge before going to the pod area, because running out of pod is just a terrible feeling. But you know, if this is going to be his play, I can't say it's, you know, a bad idea. I just am not as big a fan of this. Walking out of the pod area is very tough. Andy is doing the bomb jumps, by the way.
Yeah, let's see if this proves to be a valuable skip. He does have a little bit of ground to cover because of whatever happened to him. Smoky to Meyer found. Piece of heart. Compass. That's completely useless. And the red mail.
And I honestly, I'm not happy if I'm seeing red mail in Andy's shoes. No mirror means that just even getting these death warps just takes that much longer.
Yeah, I can agree with that. He'd have to look for some fixed damage if he wants to death warp now, at the very least.
But Krellbell finding his first sword there in Spectacle Rock at Pod, so shows what I know about, the value of making these plays. Krellbell is rewarded with that sword.
First combat advantage goes to the Crowbell, but still there. Andy is gonna keep going here. He is definitely taking a risk here, I feel. And Crowbell has found Meyer in the meantime.
First up, Krellbell does find the Luck Fairy at the right Meyer shed. Probably not going to buy any. He's not buying any upgrades. And Andy's really setting up the pixel on this bomb jump.
Let's make sure he gets it, and there he goes. Good find there. Gonna save his key and keep going here.
Yeah, he can get to Rando Room with his current keys.
Opting for item density, never a bad idea.
Yeah, between getting to Rando Room and getting the rest of the way to Ice Armos, like, this is definitely the best play for him.
And finds the other glove. That has just made this so much worthwhile for Andy, because once he gets to Pod, he's gonna have the Titans met. Thieves meanwhile found for Rebel. Comes to desert, a couple of 20 rupees, and a piece of heart here in Rando Room. I think this trip is paid off with that glove, with that Cygnus Roaring glove for Andy.
Yeah, this could change up his route a little bit too. As Krellbell does get, I believe that was the Ether Medallion, but what this does for him is it means, maybe I still want to go all the way up to Catfish.
Well, we shall see as he checks here. One more item here, potentially. Finds a small key to Tower Hera, this one and only. And he's going to go all the way to Ice Armors with this play.
Yeah, no, at this point, like, he's put in the time this far, like, I don't see any reason not to just continue this play.
Yeah, it makes sense. He does have the boat here, so he's going to take full advantage of it. And nice, one quick kill there. And here we go, the 3 items in behind the Ice Armors. To map the Eastern, a heart piece, and just another map. This one to Thieves Town. Still, that information might come in handy later.
Yeah, we had seen that connector earlier from Andy of the Spiral Cave. So, and it looks like this is going to be Krellbell turning in that desert front entrance that we saw from Andy as well, when he made a similar move.
All right. We're gonna see the Light Rail shopping mall here. I don't think we've seen any of these entrances just yet.
No, without that glove, they both were very much cautious on this one. I do see chat mentioning that Thieves Town was our third pendant.
Right, so we know where the crystal layers are. Lumberjack House, the Smith House, all the workers living down here in the Light World.
And there's
the
Hype
Hype
Cave.
Cave. Only piece are here. Meanwhile, we get 10 bombs, a blue rupee, some ammunition, just a little bit more.
That's pretty much Hype Cave.
Yep, that sums up Hype Cave in a nutshell these days.
Yep, the modern Hype Cave. But Crowell's going to be able to get that small key out of Zora.
And meanwhile, I think it's about to stumble into Pod here. Or no, this is Eastern Pod. I think this is Pod. Yeah, it's Pod.
Yeah, this is Pod.
The palettes confused me there for a moment.
I will say, Andy's doing something like, you know, if you're watching this and you're going, I love palette shuffle. What I will warn is that if you are new to Rando and are not familiar with the looks and colors of buildings or stuff, or know what they are based on when you enter or the worlds, do not play palette shuffle entrance until you're more comfortable. This is one of those things that can really mess up newer runners. I've seen people play with palette shuffle on entrance and be like, I didn't realize I was in Light World or Dark World or something. So definitely a little bit of caution to newer players. But Crowball's going to continue with all of these flipper checks, and I can't disagree with it. It's definitely a nice little set to go through. Andy, having that bow, though, for Pod is going to be able to get a little bit easier of a time. Not that Crowball did poorly at all with his Mimic Clip, or Potion Glitch, actually, so...
Yeah, and Andy might be able to go just a little bit deeper here as well. You've seen him do it once, he might do it again, but I don't think it's worthwhile.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the loop. I really am not. Maybe he does to get that density. And, like, at least in his case, having the bow means it's a little better to go through, but it still feels like a really long play.
Well, it's already paid out once for Andy with the Titans bet now, so maybe it'll pay out again, he's thinking. Well, we'll see. We shall see.
We know it's a small key on Zora Ledge. We just don't know which one. Crowbell is going to be able to show us what that key is, and this could be important. The big one, of course, would be Swamp Small, but any small key could actually help him.
It is a small key to Dark Palace.
So, not a huge deal, and Andy is doing the back here.
Right, Andy is definitely feeling bold here.
I'm with Telethar on this one. I'm a little concerned about this kind of play. We don't need rupees on Andy's side either. Like, he's good on money for the rest of the seed. But I am surprised he's being this aggressive. He gets Burna, which is okay. And that's the thing, like, one thing I'll say is that one small key or hammer that we had does put Stalfos Basement in logic, and I've seen that check burn people in Key Sanity. It's not going to in this case, but it's one of those things you really got to be mindful of, because I've seen a lot of people skip that check, and in a Key Sanity seed, it's got major progression. So...
Well, he's not done yet. He's here inside the Dark Base, and he finds the small key to Swamp Palace!
Shows what I know, folks.
And there's the lamp in the well drop down. So there's our fire source. That's, of course, in the sanctuary behind the grave. And he is attempting to death warp here, but if the Kodongos are not playing nice with where they are, he's just running around blindly trying to find them.
And
Thankfully,
Preval's going to go for right side desert. I like it. You got the small key now. And he can actually beat desert for his first dungeon.
and meanwhile, heading to dark. Yeah, he's heading over to the dark shopping mall. He's trying to check this one first before he leaves to the light world, I think.
And I love this routing choice. So what you're going to see here, I think, and hopefully I'm right this time. You know, I'm due for a right guess. So we're going to get the dark shopping mall, but Andy can take the warp portal here. And this is why this is a huge play. Wow, finding laser bridge.
Smoking in Meyer. Now, it should be noted that the small key to Swamp Palace, that is locked behind all 6 pod small keys, I believe, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so could be considered a single dip in that situation. And there's the hookshot as well! Oh, Andy's just getting...
Andy's going to have a full clearable Swamp Palace when he gets back over there. That's, or at least a mostly clearable Swamp Palace. And unfortunately, like, the hard part here is Krellbell really could have gotten those checks previously. So you really feel bad about that, is like, that's something he could have done.
Oh yeah, we did find small keys to pod that were flippers locked, and I just realized. So yeah, there was expected of a double dip. Keeping the key locking is just going to be all sorts of hard for us up here in the booth. Which is why we have 2 trackers on the scene here. There once again, and shout out to Seiryu X and Roken keeping those items up to date for us down there.
Andy also finds the back of Skull Woods at the bottom of Bumper Cave.
Can't full clear this, but at least gonna get the item in. Eddie's been the aggressor here, and honestly, I think it's paid off to his advantage. So we're seeing... Is this going to be Catfish, I believe?
For Andy, yes.
Meanwhile, Pyramid for Treble, which we haven't seen either, actually.
And the question here is, will he go to Dark Shopping Mall for that last check? Ice Palace is one of our 5/6s, by the way.
Alright, we don't know where the other one is just yet. We haven't even found the bomb bender, I just realized. It looks like... I didn't catch what Krubble saw there, but he's just noping out. Krubble now with that lamp is going to be checking into Hyrule Castle here. That means we're going to be potentially seeing a scout here of the darkness, but maybe not. Yeah, Kruble's just going to be checking the east entrance here. And unfortunately, it's useless. It's the Turtle Rock Emergency Exit Cave. Alright, first look at it, and we're seeing Darkle transition here to Krubble. And there's the old man cave.
Yep. And we know this is going to let out at Hera.
I Okay, I think if you're Krebel at this point and you know it's going to lead out of here, I think you make a small detour when returning the old man to go check the ether tablet.
Yeah, you'll get the read on it, but that's it.
I mean,
Unfortunately, if we wanted East Death Mountain here, you're going to have to make that same trek a second time.
well, the trek's not that bad. Apparently, it's just in... It's at a food spot. I think it's in the Dark Pool 5.
It was Flute Spot Dark 5. There's Bombos Medallion, so we got some fire now.
I mean, we already had fire.
More fire.
Yeah, we had the lamp. Speaking of lamp, Andy's about to discover it here in the grave.
Yeah, the hard part here is Krellbell definitely has a bit of an orphan check with that other Dark Shopping Mall cave. He made his way over to Dark Shopping Mall, but did not check the liftable rock yet, which was Laser Bridge.
Alright, so Krellbell's turn now to dive into the underside here. Maybe we'll be able to see Zelda Cell item on this end. And maybe he'll continue to... Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, in terms of East Death Mountain, the other... Oh, and Krellbell's going for the back. Wow. But we've actually seen a lot of the East Death Mountain checks. It's really the question of the top of East Death Mountain and the drop downs. When will we see that?
And he's going to the back too.
Well, Andy did this front portion. He's already seen that there's nothing in the basement. So for him, he as Ralkin confirmed earlier, Andy did save scum this key. So this is him just finishing up checks.
Yeah, unfortunately,
this is Krellbell doing this without knowing if anything's in Boomerang or Zelda Cell.
Big key to turn a rock found. That's not a key locked. So it's unfortunately we're not going to be seeing the Zelda Cell item here.
Well, we saw it with Andy, or at least we know enough from Andy to know it's not important.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh no! Map the desert, bug catching nets, and a compass to Visiting Mire. Ultimately, I don't think that's not worse.
Yeah. So all of Hyrule Castle is bad. Except for that key to TR, which was in logic with just the lamp. Yeah, and if anybody's curious what happened to Andy there, and what he's doing is the snakes are at least going to do some damage that's considerable. Unfortunately, the rats are going to do just about nothing for him. So, he's like, I want to be ready to Death Warp, and unfortunately, he just took the too much damage after that.
Yeah, meanwhile, Krebel is going to be taking the old man drop down once again to start looking at the top of Death Mountain here. We'll see if he decides to scout the Ether Tablet.
I'm surprised he didn't go for this earlier, to be honest. This would have been it'd be a walk, but nothing too bad.
Well, he couldn't dash even with Suda Boots with the old man, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, it's only 3 bombs, so not the worst thing to find. There's 1 Castle Tower Small. Another Smoking Visiting Mire. You're really used for convenience, not more so than logic.
So the question in where we're hook and bow, our hook shot was on Laser Bridge at at Dark Shopping Mall, and our bow was in the front of Skull Woods.
Yes, I believe. I'm not 100% sure where exactly in that region it was.
What, the bow?
No, the
It was
hook shot.
Oh,
No, I don't
no, that
remember
was
which case specifically.
Laser Bridge was at Dark Shopping Mall. For the hook shot.
I know that. I was saying I don't remember which game it was. I could like correlate that to like
The
Ice
liftable
Rock game
rock.
it was. Oh, the liftable rock. Okay, so
The liftable rock in Dark Shopping Mall.
okay, I think that's normally the hint cave we saw a while ago with the spikes. So Storyteller cave found for Krevel. It's at least nice
Andy's
that
got
all
that
the...
hook and gonna go straight for Hookshot Cave. Gets a big key to Thieves. Okay.
Our container, another piece of heart. Still no sign of our actual real boots.
Well, and at this rate, it's looking like we're finding most of the entrances, like dungeon-wise. We've seen Eastern Desert, Hera, Pod, Swamps, Skull, Thieves, Ice, Mire TR. So we've seen all of our dungeons besides, I think, Tower. And really, at this point, you're like, I just don't even care.
Well, that is true. That said, Agate Tower still has 2 items in Key Sandy, so we do care, maybe care a little bit. Here is Laser Bridge for Krevel. We'll see if he decides to go deeper with that sword. I don't think he can... No, he can't do it from the side. Never mind, because he doesn't have Kina Samaria. But we'll get the powder and the hook shot at least. Go with Big, he gives him the boots! There we go for Andy. Huge find there. All those bonk checks now are available. And we're going to immediately use it to check the bonk rocks here next to the sanctuary.
Yeah, we'll have that right there, right from there to King's Tomb. And Krellbell, I love this tech always. We're going to get the Skull Woods clear from Krellbell. Lamp and a sword, he's got enough equipment for it.
And Andy's not wasting any time checking Dark Mire. Let's see what we got.
We've seen most of the Mire area, actually.
Yeah, Mire Medallion was Quake.
The Mire area is actually the Mire Cave. That was one of the other Spec Rock entrances. Krellbell made that bomb jump and was able to find this one.
Ah, so yeah. So Andy's
going to be able to... He's going to see it right now. If he hovers, he can get it. And there you go. There's a sword for Andy.
Meanwhile, the wall fight is happening. Our first of the dungeons are being cleared here.
And this is going to put Andy at Pod, which for him is great. We know that, I believe Thieves Town's right in this area. So he's going to check out some more entrances that he hadn't been able to previously. Like, this is good timing for him.
Yeah, and with the exception of the Thieves Town Big Chest, he can pretty much full clear Thieves Town.
Yeah, and that was a good beat of the Moth for Krellbell for his first dungeon. Unfortunately, just a pendant this time, so not so much in the progression style of things, but still a good kill. Get him going. Andy seeing the old man rescue, and he's really considering it. Or no, it's froze again. So I don't know what he's gonna do.
He's probably gonna do this and then come back later. He knows that this is at the Dark Flute spot 5, so.
And once again, big shout outs to Relkin, who's watching Andy's stream on the side from when this happens, so can tell us, yes, Andy is rescuing the old man.
All right, meanwhile, Relkin, where are you going to be going? Back into the Village of Outcasts? I think Krebel has decided to turn on the gas here and start clearing some dungeons. He's heading over to fight the Lambolas now.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, Krebel just hasn't gone back for Skull Woods at all. Like, the boots and the bow are both there, and like we haven't seen anything really from those boots, but it's still the nice of having them. Having real boots really does feel better.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think Krebel's found the Skullwoods Big Key yet, has he? I think that was one of the ones that Andy has aggressively seen as broken. So he won't be getting those boots if he goes to Skull Woods. They're in the big chest.
Well, Krebel does have the skull big.
Does he? I don't see it there.
I thought I did.
I suppose we can double check if he does an actual menu.
Yeah, it has a track. It's tracked on the tracker. It's just hard to see on against the wings.
Yeah, it is admittedly pretty hard. I couldn't quite tell either.
But Andy is into Pendant Thieves. So Andy's first dungeon is probably going to be this Thieves Town clear.
Yeah, folks, as a reminder for those just now tuning in, we are playing with cross keys with pseudo boots, and pseudo boots just gives us the dashing capability of the boots. It does not allow us to do any of the checks or logic breaking tricks like hovers with them. So even though Krebel can dash around, he cannot actually check like bonk rocks or anything like that.
And Andy actually not beating Thieves here. Gonna skip the clearable pendant dungeon in favor of Swamp Palace. You know what? I'm not shocked. This is a crystal.
Crystal he can beat and full clear, and this is also a very item dense dungeon, I believe. 6 items normally, so it's up to 10 now with the small key here to Dark Palace being our first item.
Yeah, the only thing we're missing here is the Swamp Big Key.
And that only locks the big chest. It's not required to go fight Argus, so Andy will be moving on here. Most likely to the boss. Krebel, meanwhile, is going to transition through Hookshot Cave and come out the other side.
Yeah, this was at DDM Bridge. We saw Andy do this after he got his hook shot, so... And this connector here led to the back of Skull. So this is actually really good for Krebel. He's going to end up at the Skullwoods area, should get his bow and boots momentarily.
You know, I wonder if maybe Krebel was avoiding the region because he wanted to check this entrance here, but now that he doesn't have to... Oh... He might just... Oh, no, he's going to stick around.
Whew, that was a scary one, Krebel. Sitting on that
He was thinking about it. He was thinking about it.
And luckily remembered, hey, I haven't done these checks yet.
I mean, I don't blame him. He apparently doesn't have any small keys to Skull Woods.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh no, he had found one, but he used it immediately to go ahead the off. But there we go. There's his boots, and he'll soon be rewarded. No, actually, he doesn't have a key. Never mind.
No key. He's gonna try this drop down. This drop down could save him. If it puts him in bumper room, though, he's screwed. On that bow, like he does not get the bow if this does not put him in the right spot. And it put him in the bumper room. He is not getting the bow, folks.
Oh yeah, that's right. We saw Andy take the drop down to put him on that side.
Yep.
So Krelbo, unfortunately, will not be getting the bow just yet. But I don't think he used the key, so he can get it later.
Yeah, unfortunately, from the bumper room, he'd have to spend the key he just got in that chest to get back to the front door, so he would still be short a key.
Looks like Swamp, meanwhile, having a heart container is at least one other item here.
Bow doesn't get us anything, it's just more of the knowledge of having it. That's the bigger piece, and unfortunately, you know, like, we need it eventually. We need it for Armos in Eastern, we need it for Pod to beat Pod. So, like, those are two places we need it, it's just, you're not gonna get it.
Right, heading over to East Ark World here. Meanwhile, Andy going into the back here. Time for the diver down. Let's see if he gets.
Here's the thing. I do want to say, you know, this whole thing about, hey, you know, Swamp hasn't paid out. You know, why is that? Swamp Palace is behind 6 pod smalls. Okay, we found that Swamp Small key in the dark maze of Palace of Darkness. So this is really deep into the logic chain right now. But I like the fact that Krellbell's back into Pod here. Gonna be able to get quite a bit. He'll get his Swamp Small this time.
Yeah, those pod smalls are still unaccounted for. At least 2 of them. So, Swamp House could very well be the last dungeon we were intended to clear, but Andy's just getting out of the way right now.
Yeah, I mean, if he got something else off of this, like if he found an Eastern Big Key, Cane of Samaria or something, like those are definitely some good finds. Just nothing really showing up. But we will get a crystal from this.
Yeah, and I think that's overall where the value of doing Swamp House now lies. And he's just getting it out of the way so he doesn't have to worry about doing it later. Unfortunately, slightly misses the cycle, and the boss delayed there. He was doing his spin attack without any of his Argai puffs.
Yeah, Bell's about to get his Swamp Small here, but Arcus just gives us another bottle, so yeah, not a huge deal.
Now that said, I believe that bottle did have blue potion in it, so that's actually worthwhile.
Yeah, that looked to be a blue potion, so.
And he's checking right side of the desert now. I think, unfortunately, Krebel was sitting over that death orb, and unfortunately grabbed the Pizza Heart, which gave him 4, so he had a full health refill.
Yeah, and that's been the big issue here for both runners. You know, you get that blue mail or red mail in Andy's case, and just you can't take a death warp here. You're just stuck with this of having to just continually hope for enemies that are dealing enough damage.
Well, it's more so I think Crubble was set up for the Death Ward, but then the piece of heart propelled him up the full.
But Andy's going to go get his Landmo kill as well now.
And this is a big key we didn't see. That's the big key to GT. That is not required, but it could be valuable.
I mean, at this point, GT Climb is another one that's deep in the logic chain. I don't expect to see it soon. I wouldn't be shocked to see Krellbell go back to GT at this point. And that's what he's doing. This looks like GT for him.
Well, he does have a few more tools, and this will eventually net him his Titan Myths as well. Which honestly have not been proven to be that much value. I don't think we have checked King's Tomb yet, though. The entrance.
No, we did check that entrance on Andy's side. I think it was just a shop. Our myths check's really not leading to much. We haven't seen Ice Palace entrance. We have also some Dark Death Mountain checks available that we haven't seen, so we'll see when we get to those.
Yeah, and I believe in terms of Dark Kakariko, or Village of Outcasts, rather, we have not done the Smith chain yet, and we do know where the Smiths are.
Yeah, I mean, we could check Hammer Pegs as well, so maybe we get that check.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if our runners decide to do that at some point here.
And Krellbell finding his red mail has to be thinking, why game? I really don't need more armor.
And we are in fact seeing the Hammer Pigs here from Andy. Now, there's a 5 value interiors. I think we're out, except for maybe a few single items.
That is Bumper Cave.
That is something we cannot do, but it's still good to know, I guess. Although I think we found any connector that we realistically need. There's the tidiness down for Krubble. Must be feeling pretty good there. And
It looks
gonna...
like Darkling Sponkrox before probably the save and quit at this rate. Would be my estimation.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Can't use the mirror just yet, so we can't exactly flute all the way down to the Ice Rod Cave location. And it's just Dark Snake,
yeah.
So...
Krellbell's Mimic Clip earlier was a potion camera unlock, so I don't know if we'll get a Mimic Clip to climb. I doubt he's going to go that far out for this.
Yeah, I don't think he'll do the Mimic Clip with the wall strat. Master Sword, though, found in the GT Big Chest. That is nice to have. Minimum combat requirement now to finish the seed. Only 10 arrows from the Smiths, meanwhile.
And this looks like it's going to be the Death Mountain climb for Andy. Or not. Maybe Thieves Town?
We might be heading back there, yeah.
Yep, this is Thieves. Oh, no, it's not Thieves. Sorry, my bad. I thought that was Thieves. No, Thieves Town is the Pod Area Cave.
Won't be the Dark Palace there?
Or at least I thought it was.
I think
Oh, was Thieves Town Hype Cave? No, because Hype Cave was Blind Hut.
Only piece of art on the pyramid ledge I saw at that time. It's strange. I don't know where we should go next.
I mean, we've got some Dark Death Mountain checks available with those mitts now. But Krellbell's going to go for Swamp Palace.
It may not be a bad idea to do Ice Palace here. We are going to get a pet check here, though. This is a pretty common thing to see in all dungeons in Key Sandy with all the keys shuffled. There might be a single key here. A small key to the Evil Tower. So that is a GT small. Oh, wait, or is that Aga Tower?
I'm not sure. I thought that was GT.
Well, regardless, it's a small key we don't necessarily care about.
But we're going to get Magic Bat here from Andy.
And we are getting confirmation that that Evil Tower is, in fact, Ganon's Tower. So that is the fourth and final small key for GT accounted for.
And a small shield.
Wait a minute, I think that means that the top of Ganon's Tower is really deep in the logic. I don't think anything can be up there, really.
I mean, it's behind 6 pod smalls.
6 pod smalls, and now all 3 pendants with the small key there.
Well, that's only the end. Technically, everything pre-Moldorm is in logic with the big key, or without that 4th small. And technically, the mini Helma room is behind 0 small keys for GT. So there's layers to it, but yeah, it's still very deep in the logic.
So very unlikely we have high values there. What are we looking for in terms of items here still? We still need to find the fire rod and the Cane of Samaria here, it looks like. And ideally the mirror as well for some better navigation.
Yeah, we're also missing a few big keys. Those are the big. That's the big one.
Yeah, keys not supposed. Yeah, keys. We still need to find Eastern Palace pod.
The other thing we can say is, you know, with the fact that Myra's a pendant, hovering could come into play still in this race. We know where Laser Bridge is. Andy could hover to Trinex. It's not an easy hover, and it's a very long endurance one. But if he's feeling good, he might go for it. If, you know, he doesn't need, you know, if Samaria is buried in this seed.
Thanks, Boulder, for telling us it's the Crystal Dungeon right at the end.
What did you know? The Hera map is in Hera.
And I'm the boss, no less. Some things never change. Eddie gonna be checking the tower room here. Honestly, not a bad play. He knows this is potentially an item. It's a bit of a time commitment, though.
I mean, given how much they've both cleared, I'm not surprised that Krellbell did left side, and Andy did left side, and Andy's doing Hera basement here. Like, it just makes kind of sense.
Yeah, we'll see if this comes into play here as we nearly approach the 90-minute mark here of the seed.
Now, I will say, we do know where a big key is that we can't pick up. That desert ledge.
True, we have not found our way over there. Maybe Bumper Ledge connects there. Or Bumper Cave, rather. Bumper Cave, I meant.
I mean, I'm thinking more... Oh, there's your other castle tower small. But no, I'm thinking more so that we're going to actually need to find the mirror for it at this rate.
Also a possibility, yeah.
But I think if I'm our runners in this case, like, I think you go to Ice Palace. It's in Kakariko. I think it's a good play, and it looks like, yep, Andy's going for ice.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't gone to ice yet sooner, honestly. We've had the means to get in there since Bombos. And we haven't, and at that point, we've had everything else in logic, except for the big chest. And we'll be seeing that shortly here. Meantime, though, Argus fight for Krellbell.
He's going to have a little easier time with the Master Sword, so the spins are going to be a little more effective.
Yep, setting up those double hook spins. Looks like one of the puffballs got back. And avoids the cycle there. 2 ice shots and a spin. Not quite enough, but gets another spin to wrap things up. And that is another crystal on the board for Relkin.
For Krellbell.
Krellbell, sorry. I said the tracker's name. It's late, folks. Anyway, Andy's going to be heading down doing the classic energy route with the ball jump. I think it's actually still the only way to do Ice Palace in NMG, now that I think about it.
So for Andy right now, obviously without Samaria, we don't really have another option. We have to do it this way, so... but Krellbell's going to head into Misery Mire. He's got 3 small keys and a big key. No Samaria to finish, but he would rather do a pendant where he can get 7 items and do pretty much all of it instead of going for the crystal clear. Could be a nice time save. Could find the ice big to make ice fully clearable. We'll see.
We'll see. Looks like there might not have been anything of importance here in this. I don't see anything immediately apparent on Andy's side.
Yeah, we didn't see Pen Gator, which would be the only check he's done so far.
Compass the Swamp, not really that helpful. That is our 5th total pod small key, 4th for Andy. So the dungeon is full clearable if you decide not to open the front door. Fire Rod!
Huge.
Huge find. That does put, well, actually, no, it's not that huge right now, but it'll be helpful later.
Well, you know how I said that there's definitely the possibility that Andy could hover TR? Now it's open. If he really wants to, he could. Good? I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's available.
Definitely a time sink here.
And there's the other Poe!
In cutscene chest. So I don't think Andy's going to be checking that unless he's desperately looking for a single item.
Well, I don't know if Krellbell gets the second Poe either. Like, I'm not sure if he's going to be interested in heading over to that Skull Woods checks now.
Well, we know where both bows are, at least. Red Boomerang found, meanwhile. Half magic as well in Misery Mire.
Yeah, Krellbell really getting... I'm not always a big fan of bailed out, but I feel that's a bailout for him. Really massive find on the bow. And he getting the more important progression. Oh, Vanilla Cane of Samaria!
So, item-wise, we are in no mode, but we do not still have any information on where the keys are still. Which is another big part of this puzzle. Andy, meanwhile, doing Hammer Cold Stare. This is a very difficult fight. But with the armor, this actually is beneficial to him, keeping him alive. And there we go. Nicely done.
Yeah, pretty quick fight there for his cape.
And it does open up Bumper Cave, as we mentioned previously. So that could lead him somewhere else. And Krellbo can actually full clear this dungeon with the Vanilla King of Samaria. I'm just blown that it was there, honestly.
I mean, it was a dense play, so good one for him to make.
Apparently. Where was the Mr. Meyer Big Key again? Do you remember, Radical?
I don't. Chad's saying he does know where it is, so it's really just a matter of time for him.
Must be back in Easter Palace. That's about when the crash happened. He hasn't been back there to pick up his ice rod yet, and he's going to need to at some point.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Vitreous fight over on Krellbells for the green pendant. And it is one medallion fits all here to open up entrances. We need Quake to enter Turtle Rock as well. Krellbell down to his last 8 arrows here. He's going to be doing spin attacks for the rest of this. He wants to save those last 8 for the Vitreous fight. But the less health the eyeballs have, the more lightning strikes become frequent. There it goes, though. And down goes Vitreous. So that'll be green pendant for him. This could be important. We don't know just yet.
Well, and I think the bigger piece here, of course, is that King of Samaria. So if Krellbell goes off to Ice next, he's going to have a bit of a faster clear than what Andy was able to do. And Andy's in Thieves.
Yeah, heading over to the back chest here. No small key, but with the big key in hand, he can at least get into the boss. And this is a pendant. We can cover his Turks the blue pendant. I don't know where our other red is. We still haven't found Bomb Bender, actually. Could it be on the back of Desert Palace? No, we haven't checked the balcony yet either. So, we need to find that mirror.
Yeah, it's looking like we're going to need it for that. Another Turtle Rock small off of green pendant. So Vidi is not required. The big key is, if only for the fact that that's logically needed.
Nice stun there on the Zazak as Andy heads over to the Maiden Cell. And Krellbell is checking the front side of Swan Palace. Will be rewarded with a vanilla small key here, and will most likely check the drop down and be rewarded further with his silver arrows. Life fight meanwhile on Andy's side. Looking to be set up perfectly for the execution there. And down goes Blind, and it only has 10 arrows. Silver's picked up for Krellbell, and Andy's just gonna nope out of picking up the pendant. So
Yep.
Kills the boss and just leaves it behind.
Yep, he's seen the ped is not required, so he's not even going to pick that up.
Nice little time save.
It's looking more and more like a double dip of Eastern might have been required for the seed. Like Samaria plus Ice Rod or plus Fire Rod might give the mirror.
Oh, here we go. Ice Palace and Eastern Palace are 5/6 crystals. So there we go. There's that information. We finally found the bomb merchant. I don't think we had it.
I'm really starting to think that right side of GT has either the mirror or the Eastern Big or something. And so Andy needs to make this play into Eastern Palace again to get hit not only his Ice Rod, but also that Mire Big.
Yeah, it's looking like it's important here. Meanwhile, Krellbell is on the track to the Fire Rod. We're still a few biggies away, though. First time here was only 20 rupees, now that we can see it.
And yeah, I think this is going to be Eastern for Andy. I think he's kind of at the point where he's like, I need to go into Mire, and I just got to do this.
Yeah, you can pick up the Ice Rod on the way. Now, we have had information where Turtle Rock Big Key is, right? Or is that chest still not found?
What? East? You're talking about the right side TR entrance?
Yeah.
We have not seen that one yet. To Telethar's question, we think it's a crash, but we're not entirely sure. This is really only just a guess of what had happened.
And there's the Vicky Mystery Mire. Andy's going to continue into finishing up this dungeon here. If we can full clear it.
He's already done these checks. This is a death warp. Huh.
Oh, it is a death warp. I'm surprised he didn't finish Eastern Palace while he was here. He does have knowledge that this is the other 5/6.
He doesn't have the big key.
Ah, right. I forgot about that. Thank you for that catch there.
And this is going to be purple chest. Oh, wait, maybe not. He's going to go through bumper. Okay, I like it. We've got that. Let's, see if it actually pays out.
Yeah, this could be some big information here. And on the other side of bumper, we have Floating Island. Although, this does... Oh, it doesn't lead to any new checks, actually, now I think about it. Yeah, I think we've been up there before, so...
Yeah, it's just, if we got the mirror. I forgot what was on the floating island, so not a huge deal.
So this will be purple chest turn in. If it's mirrored, this could be huge.
Yeah, I mean, that mirror is probably what's going to give us that big key on Desert Ledge. At this rate.
There it is!
Speak of the devil!
So another advantage to Andy's arsenal here. The mirror has been found. And he's going straight for Desert Ledge. Rebel with that fire I found here in Ice Palace, meanwhile, is going to go there. And this big key leads to Tower of Hera.
That's very not hype.
No, but maybe these entrances are. Let's see. We just get a shop. I think one of these has to be one of the TR middle entrances. Indeed.
And of course, Andy still needs a sword. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going to get him to that sword, but like, there's still 2 others, so I'd expect he'll find one eventually.
I agree. We'll see what comes of Turtle Rock here. Meanwhile, Preble is slowly but surely working up Hera. We don't know what's in that big chest, and that somewhat worries me. Here we go, the change.
We'll tell you. Yeah.
Alright. Mold number 1. Hammer strap's going down.
Bralkin telling us there's a small key to pod and chomps.
Which is the last pod small key. Which does now put the swamp small key into logic. I believe.
And the other thing I will say is Andy did find the pod big key out of the crystal roller room. So that's a big find. Andy now can actually beat Palace of Darkness. Apologies, Relkin. I started to bring up his stream as well to keep up when we got those freezes.
Meanwhile, I'm playing blind.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be Palace of Darkness for Andy.
Yeah, I don't blame him. It's a full clear. Here, you can get the remaining items. I don't know where Krellville's going just yet. He does... Still missing that mirror. I don't know if he's going to check anything here. I think he's going to head over to Laser Zone and fight off Trinex. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go straight to the turtles and fight them.
But Krellbell is about to get that pod big key as well.
It's just decent big for no mode here, total, I just realized. That's the last big key we're missing.
Well, that's the thing. Andy could get away without even getting Samari at this point.
It'd be a risk, but I can see Andy doing that, honestly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The question of, you know, what are we missing? Andy's still missing a sword and Eastern Big.
Yeah, we know a sword is out there. I forget where Krellville found his. Oh, it was in GT Big Chest. That's where it was.
And that's really not a good spot for Andy. I don't know what causes him to go all the way there, except if he gets Samaria.
Yeah, I would say Samari going right side, maybe.
Yeah, Samaria would cause him to go right side.
And who knows, maybe our Eastern Big Key's over there too. And we still haven't found Agate Tower, but I think at this point it has to be in a mirror lockless spot. We're going to see the top floor here of Turtle Rock here. This is something that is hard locked behind the Cane Samaria. It's a race for figuring out where this last big key is.
Yep.
Because I don't think Preble needs the mirror if he finds that big key, does he?
No, it's just looking more and more like we're gonna need it.
Oh, Helmstar King is falling here to Andy. Hammer with red mail should be a pretty easy fight. Meanwhile, we are seeing the torch puzzle here in Turtle Rock. Nothing was in the trap chest. So let's see what's on the other side of the spike rollers. The Quake Medallion. And the big key to swap!
Yeah, not the one we want to see.
Oh, getting my blood pumping there, Randomizer. I thought for a second there Credible found it. But there's no more big keys left for us to be bait. Oh no, there is. There's still the Ice Palace one. And he's gonna be finishing up here. I think he's gonna be heading over to Harmless Hellway. Looks like he didn't find the big key. Eastern Palace big key can realistically be anywhere. There's only 2 checks that it's being blocked by. And we did see Harmless Hellway there, but unfortunately not in time.
But this will be the big play here, is what does Crowball get off of Trinex here?
Oh, Winter Shark big chest, 10 arrows. I like the switch over here to the Ice Head. Firehead's still alive, but Ice Head's going to be a little bit more annoying to deal with if he gets a chance to shoot.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that on ice floor at all.
And he is in GT now.
Yeah, a little bit surprised by this. Looks like he's going to be going for the, he'll get his Master Sword at least.
Oh, he didn't have a key to check this chest over here.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hold up. Up there's the Ice Palace big key. Turtle Rock. Trinex is a trickster. Today. Alright, oh, for real now, only one big key out there, and that is the Eastern Palace big key.
And Crowball thinking about where to go next. This is going to be Palace of Darkness for him. That's another clearable crystal, so not a surprise. We'll see what Andy does next. I wouldn't be shocked if we get a GT climb here. He's running out of checks, probably not wanting to dip Meyer at this point. So do we get the GT climb? We do. Andy gonna head up Ganon's tower.
Honestly, I do not blame him. Because with how late the progression's been for GT climb to be even remotely in play, it could very well be a logical AD just to get the Eastern Palace big key out of the top here. So, making the right call here, I feel.
Well, keep in mind, the only chest that's actually locked behind the AD is Moldorm's last possession. 3 keys that we have on Andy's side is enough to get to penultimate chest before Moldorm 2. So 3 of these checks are actually completely in logic.
While we are seeing tile room in the right side of GT basement here on Rebel's side.
And this could be the game, honestly. Like, Krellbell is checking the right side here. If Eastern Big is here, that's game, I would say. Like, this is huge. You know, did we need Kane of Samaria to finish to get the Eastern Big key?
Moment of truth here coming up in the next room. Piece of hearts. 300 rupees. Another piece of heart. 20 rupees. No, we did not need the Cadence of Maria.
I mean, probably we did to finish the seed. Like, let's be real. It just wasn't for that.
Fair enough. Nice one cycle there without the Cadence of Maria. Wow, okay. Getting the one cycle of those wizard rooms without the Cadence of Maria is really difficult, and he did it flawlessly. Andy. Wow. Impressive. I don't think I could pull that off, to be perfectly honest.
So Krellball's going to go with some checks here of Dark Death Mountain. We saw these on Andy's side.
Yeah, starting with Pendant Thief Town. Top of GT, starting with 20 rupees. And the map to Hyrule Castle, you don't want to see that. That map has no useful information on it. Tempered Sword at the top.
Okay.
Alright, alright. That will make Moldorm 2 here pretty easy. And you know what? Andy could go further and go fight Aga 2 here to see what the item is on the pyramid.
Yeah,
Looks like that's exactly what he's doing.
Yep.
We know it's a single item cave at this point. I believe it is the Lost Woods drop down.
Yeah, I think it's the Thief drop down. Yes, the Forest Cave.
Alright, I get him 2 in a pretty okay position here.
Yeah, double. Nice double to start.
Looks like this might be another double opportunity. Oh, it's a triple even better. 2, 3, 1. Oh, one of the
triple. Yeah, that was a simultaneous hit with the triple, unfortunately. So that's going to be 2, 2, 1, 1.
Still pretty respectable, all things considered. And Agasu is down. He did not necessarily need to fall here for the goal, but maybe he was blocking our progression.
Well, and the other good thing for Andy here is this puts him on top of the pyramid for 3 entrance checks on top of Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, so what should be the Turtle Rock big chest, I would assume. But we haven't seen that yet. He's gonna check those first.
And at Aga Tower is Aga Tower.
What? Of all the entrances for that to be there.
Yes, folks, we have a vanilla entrance there.
And there's our 3rd small heated horizon. I think it's our 4th now.
Yeah, that'll be the last one we've seen.
And just encompass to Tower Hera. And sure enough, there is the big chest of Turtle Rock. It's only a bottle. Now that is the 3rd pendant for Krellball. He might just blind pull the pedestal at this point.
There is definitely a chance of it.
Graveyard Ledge. Heart piece. There's still a couple of entrances unaccounted for, but I think most of the item case haven't been found.
Yeah, we're definitely running low, and like, it's getting to the point where is one of those big keys we found after beating a dungeon gonna be the answer? Because we're getting down to it.
Andy now into Kakariko.
This looks to be Meyer for Andy, so he'll get his Cane of Samaria.
And now we're seeing Crubble into Pod. Now Andy has less backtracking I feel like he has to do still. So I'm trying to think and run through all the locations here in my head of where this Eastern Palace Big Key is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting this sneaking suspicion that between Swamp, Ice, and Hera Big Chests, one of them might be the answer.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else, and nothing comes to mind, really. Unless there's a single item cave that we've completely overlooked, which I don't think there is.
Actually, Chelsea Button chat mentioning a Bombos tablet. Did we see it?
No, we actually did not see Bombos tablet.
Oh, it was bombs, according to Oddity. So yeah, we did at least get the read.
Oh, I didn't see the read.
Yeah, I guess we missed that one.
Anyway, that's gonna be Cane of Samaria here for Andy.
We didn't check Bombos. Okay. Never mind. We have not seen Bombos tablet.
Oh, no, wait. We saw Ether tablet. That was 3 bombs.
Yeah, okay.
That's where the confusion is.
We have checked Green Pendant. It was not the answer either. So Andy probably does kill Vitreous here.
Yeah, I believe there was a small key on that, but it wasn't the small key we needed.
But Andy's bailing. He's done with Meyer right now. Has no desire to do cutscene or Vidi.
I mean, he's going to miss out on the silver arrows, but honestly, that is a fair trade-off. He has Tempered Sword. He is very comfortable with silverless strats. Small key to Ice Palace on Helvosaur King. So I think it is down to those big keys, and let's see which big key Crowbell checks first. I think Andy's going to be heading over to check TR. Yeah, he's going to trade it there. Now, I believe when Andy finishes, he'll be at the entrance that leads him to the top side of Turtle Rock, so he can just finish off Trinex here and then go and get the other big key.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Krellbell, I wouldn't be shocked to see a GT climb coming up. It's one of his densest plays. Andy's definitely got a little less clear left. Like, he's done quite a bit more at this point.
Yeah, this is coming down to how thorough they've been, and Andy has been exceptionally thorough. He's even been so thorough, he's been aggressive, even, with how thorough he's been. Which is proven to be his advantage early on, but... Actually, now that I think about it, neither of our runners, I believe, have checked the King's Tomb entrance either still.
No, we have seen King's Tomb. It was a shop.
Ah, right. It's so hard to keep track of all the entrances here. That's probably why we have 2 trackers here for this week.
And I actually like to track entrances when I can and doing comms for these.
Unfortunately, there is the mirror shield for Krellbull. Probably does not want to see that. And yeah, Andy's going to check these northern chests and find the Swamp Big Key. And then he's going to have to make a decision. Krellbull was thinking about footing away, but cancels it. There's the Quake Medallion, and there is the Big Key to Swamp Palace. Now, interestingly enough, we have not seen what comes out, what happens if we go into those two entrances. And this is Andy heading right into Hera to go check that. He's gonna Hera pot. This is the fastest one of the three.
Yep.
Nope, slightly messes up his spin speed setup. That's fine, he can just reset. And this is in fact a blind pull of pedestal from Crowbell. 30 rupees in Hera.
This is probably going to be right side GT next. Yeah, the only unfortunate part with Crowbell not doing Smith Chain is that he's not going to get that mirror off a purple chest, so... Doesn't need it, but it would be a nice little bonus for him. For some of the, the efficiency. We've seen Ice Palace. I don't think this is anything.
I don't recall. Oh, it's the bomb shop. That is admittedly a very rude bomb shop now that I think about it.
I mean, hey, at least we know that pyramid entrance isn't required.
No, it is not. And he's doing right side and just noping out. I don't think he did Tyrum even.
He didn't. That's why he's going back in. And yeah, the question of, is this an, oh god, what didn't I check kind of mode? It's one of those kinds of situations where you're like, what orphan is it? Where do I have to go? What do I do? You're just kind of like, I have to check as much as I can, and I hope that I win the lottery on this one.
Yeah, we alluded earlier to those sort of three different phases of this settings, in which one is information gathering, one is dungeon clearing, and now we're in the third and final phase, which is that last item hunt to put us into go mode. And we're running out of checks. It's honestly not too uncommon to full clear a cross key seed, because the keys can just go pretty much anywhere and all be required.
Well, here's one of those checks, the Bombos tablet that we did not yet see, and he's going to check it.
Yeah, he knows this isn't this could be something. If it's a big key, it is the Eastern Palace big key, and what comes down is just a piece of heart. I know that's a very minor thing with the whole electric slide backwards, but it gets me every time I see it, because I just don't expect it. And this is into Swamp Palace to check the big chest. Ooh, Crubble is just a little off center here with the cycle here. He's gonna have to go for round 2. And a short dive as well, so it's gonna be 3 cycle ammo to 2.
plus side for Crowbell, he will be getting his Tempered Sword, and I guess we did not get an Eastern Big Key out of Swamp, sorry, because we're now in Ice.
Yeah, so this is most likely going to be...
This is Andy just hitting every one of these orphans. These orphan big chests, he's just like one after the other.
I think this is the last location, though. I can't think of anything else that we have available except for maybe Thieves Town Big Kit Chest.
Which we still don't even have the Thieves Small.
Exactly. So if this is the Thieves Town Small Key, I don't know what this scene wanted us to do.
Yeah, and Vortex is right. I think we have some mirror checks available as well.
Yeah, but most of those are entrances, aren't they? They're not items.
Well, they could be an item entrance. And
oh
it's
no.
Just $20.
So we do have an item cave unaccounted for? Oh no.
Yeah, we've got some item caves unaccounted for. I don't think we've seen Spike Cave even.
Well, that just shifted the tone of the match solidly in Andy's favor, I think, because I don't think Krell was going to find the mirror anytime soon to do those.
Definitely not at the top of Crowbell's list for Smith Chain. And we see that the three big key checks that Andy knocked out, none of them were hits. So Andy's just continuing to go through these mirror checks.
Yeah, one of the entries we haven't checked is actually the top of this cave here in the light world.
Oh, and Andy hadn't actually beaten Moth yet, so I'm gonna go for that real quick.
Yeah, he doesn't know it's required, but yeah, I don't think he had the fire rod until very late, so it makes some sense. I get 2 down now for Krellbell. So our mitts were in the first chest of Pod and the Firebar chest of GT. Andy got them very early on, but the mirror is in the purple chest, so Krevel has to do that Smith Chain.
Where is Andy off to? Into Kakariko. This is the return to Mire, isn't it? As Krellbell's starting to do his cleanup as well.
Yeah. Andy will at least be rewarded with the knowledge that it is, in fact, the silver arrows, at least. That Eastern Biggie, though, is going to be a major thing here. This could take us a while to find. So, what other caves have we not seen besides Spike Cave that have items?
I don't know if we've seen Checkerboard.
I don't think we have either. I'm trying to think if we've seen both of the Bottle Fairy caves.
We saw both the Bottle Fairy caves.
Well, I'm sure we'll show up eventually. I have a feeling it's just in the Cave of Salva Grove at this point. And there's the silver arrows now for Andy. Overall, Andy has less to clean up than Krellbell, but Krellbell has a lot more checks coming up in the future with the thing. He's getting straight to Vitty. He might be thinking Green Pendant. I don't think either runners checked Checkerboard Cave entrance, but I think they've come out of it at some point.
Yeah, we came out of Checkerboard. When I say Checkerboard, I am sorry, I do mean we haven't seen the actual item Checkerboard Cave. Andy trying for that spooky setup. Unfortunately, not hitting it.
Give it an honest try, though. That is to be commended. So what entrances have we not checked yet? We haven't checked the emergency exit entrance, where the cave entrance, that would be where Light World Bumper Cave is, or normally comes out. I don't think we've seen the K45 entrance.
I think, well, we might have seen that one. We haven't seen Meyer or TR, I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't think we've seen either of those. And obviously we haven't seen the GT entrance because that's locked behind our last crystal. And there's Andy's Smoky Turtle Rock. He now has all 4. And I think this is a Cave Stop for Grove check. Oh, wait, left side race game. That's another entrance we haven't seen yet. It's the potion shop. It's there. We haven't seen what the mushroom turn-in was.
Yeah, Andy apparently did not turn in his mushroom. Oh, this was something he lost because of the crash. Right.
Well, he should have it now, so he's gonna go turn it in, I would assume. Yo, yeah, he has to go get it because he has to go dig it up.
Oh, right.
This is like one of the few items that we have accounted for, so yeah, he's gonna flute to 2 and immediately go turn that in, and then probably flute to 3 and head right back.
It's a small key, and this one is too. Oh,
Peace
no. Oh, no.
Well, that does open up the chest in the Thieves Town big chest. But we're gonna see Cave Sapphire Grove, otherwise known as Cave 45, here from Andy.
Yeah, it looks like Andy's going to continue to... I think he knows that there's at least a couple of item entrances left. Or an item entrance left.
It's Spike Cave!
There's Spike.
It's Gold Sword! Okay, I can't think of anything else. I think it's time for Thieves Down Big Chest. And I think Andy knows that
He's fluting. Question is to where. That is not the. I mean, Thieves Town's on the mountains, so he would have to do it this as well. So, Crowbell is starting his Smith chain.
It's gonna be end up good for him. Yeah, no, he's checking this entrance. This is the only way to do it. Is this checker? It's library, and there it is! The Big Kid Easter Palace has been found. Andy is now in go mode at 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 28 seconds. Alright, time for to finish up the seed. Alright, Andy hitting in. Alright, let's get this done here. Trouble now with the mirror in hand is going to start doing mirror checks here, but it might be too late.
Yeah, there's so much for Crowball to check at this point. I don't see him getting to library quick enough. And this is a formality of an ending for Andy to kill.
Yeah, comes to Dark Palace.
Ganon is at the Uncle Drop Down, so here we go. Here comes your Ganon fight, folks. And that's the thing, like, one of the big things for Andy was that mirror. Like, you know, we said that could have been something that sunk him because of all the extra checks he was making, but really it just resulted in late efficiency. So a nice little bonus for him overall in some ways.
Yeah, and now here we go, the Ganon fight. This is going to be a pretty crystal clean Ganon fight. 6 slash to the face with gold sword, silver arrows to really quickly finish this up. Yeah, this should not take more than a couple more minutes with Andy.
Oh, not even a couple minutes. This is...
Well, I say that it may not take a couple minutes, sure, but I don't know how bad the teleport RNG is here. Let's be real. He could troll and do like 10 teleports in a row. And it looks like Ganon's being kind to our hunters. Andy now setting up. Get the double. And getting another double here. Ladies and gentlemen, get your cheesy in chats for Andy. And
there
that
you
is
go, folks.
and
Andy
the
finishing first overall with a time of 2:24:48. So yeah, big points earned for Team Pug or Team Pugs here tonight. Meanwhile, Krellbell does decide to call it after seeing the completion from Andy. Don't blame it at all. A great race run by Krellbell. So get your GGs in chat as well for Krellbell. And we'll see, of course, if we can get both runners in chat for some post-race discussions. I do see Krellbell and Andy in the setup room, so they'll be with us shortly. And we are joined now by Andy and Krellbell. GG, guys.
GG.
GG.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Heart still racing even though it finished 10 minutes ago. Hello to everyone from the past.
So yeah, Andy, I'm just gonna ask this: what happened in Eastern?
That's a really good question. I have no idea.
Okay.
It didn't seem like I didn't like move or anything. It seemed like a really weird like EG state crash, and I don't really know how that would have happened.
Okay.
But because it was also weird because it was like it happened right as I died, basically.
Yeah, that was the thing. We're like, wait, Andy just lost Ice Rod, and we didn't realize that all lost you the Meyer Big Key, but it was quite interesting, that kind of combination.
Yeah, I like sometimes crashes happen when you like tilt the card or something like that, but like nothing noticeable on my end happened, so I have no idea. Felt really bad, but at that point, like the only thing that I was like kind of worried about was like if it's on mushroom, then I just lose. Like if something's on mushroom, like I'm literally never gonna do a fetch quest to do a fetch quest a second time. So, so yeah, it was weird. It ended up like I don't really know how much more I really had left, but it probably got me to do purple chest like just a little bit sooner than I would have otherwise. But I don't know. It was really weird.
Yeah, I don't think. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Andy, you made some really aggressive plays there, and particularly with GT, and that ended up netting you, I believe, the Power Glove at the time for you early. At that point, we knew that was Titan's Viz as well, so walk us through your thoughts around that point.
I felt really good about the glove until I got the mitts like 30 seconds later.
That's right, because where was the other glove?
In pod chest number 1, which was like one entrance over.
Oh.
But yeah, like, you know, I'm pretty confident with the bomb jumps there, and like you never know when real boots or the hook shot are gonna come in. And like if that pulls like a mirror or like a glove, like those are the two big things. I was like, if that's in here, then I feel really, really good. So, and like if I didn't have bow or something, I probably wouldn't have done it, because then I'm just leaving after rando room instead, and that's a lot less worth.
Yeah, I mean, Krellbell had a very different GT adventure. First time in, Krellbell did pretty much what we expected of the 2 checks and the sight, and then came back after getting the hook shot. But also had the GT Big Key his first trip, so you know, getting that sword out was pretty nice for you, Krellbell.
Yeah, kind of a nice consolation prize, although I ended up leading kind of to the same conclusion. I imagine I was pretty close to last location when I got the mirror, if not hard last. So yeah, I'm Andy and I talked about this briefly in the racetime chat before joining, but I'm really pleased with how this went. I love this mode. This is my favorite mode of the game, and I was super excited for this race. I just wanted to not mess anything major up, and it was, you know, it was a Eastern Palace Big Key hunt, of course, and I would have preferred to win, obviously, but I'm really pleased that I came as close as I did. And I love this mode. Like, even I can't even say it's such a garbage seed. It's such a terrible seed. And I'm like, I was having a blast pretty much the whole time. I found it really interesting, like trying to think about. I think there were a couple connectors that I hadn't found, and so I was trying to weigh between maybe a connector will get me to that big key, or maybe it'll be the mirror that gets me there. So that was like a really interesting a big key hunt.
I will at least say, Krevel, that you were the first one to find the swamp and the ice palace big keys, and when they came up and you guys were just that one big key from Go, it just baited us both both times over.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
And ironically, if that was the case, you probably could have edged out a victory here, but unfortunately, Randomizer decided to be kind of cruel to the both of you.
Yeah. I there really wasn't any point during this race when I completely gave up hope, which was surprising. I was kind of expecting it went better than I was expecting. I'll say it that way. But oh my gosh, this is definitely a highlight of League for me. I brought out the old Mog sprite as a shout out to one of my favorite rando memories of watching Andy play with the Mog sprite that I spent all summer before that creating, and then seeing people donate $35,000 to force Andy to use it was like a highlight of my rando career back in 2017. So I dusted it off and brought it out of retirement for this one. So this match meant a lot to me. GG to Andy. Good luck in playoffs, of course. And yeah, I guess we will be fighting to secure a place in playoffs next week.
Well, that's the thing. Pugs are, of course, clinched for their playoff spot. Currently sitting at 10-2, top of the division still. Okay, game. You guys are in great shape. At the end of this week, you are guaranteed. It looks like a tie for third or in fourth, solidly over a few teams. So good positioning. It looks like a win and you're in scenario at worst. I don't know the tiebreakers, but you guys are sitting at 18 points. With Noble Foxes, Tau Roomies, and Spec Rock Bunkers all at 12, and having completed their cross keys races as well for this week, you guys are definitely sitting pretty right now in fourth, or tied for third with Bolas Azulas.
All right, that's good to hear.
Yeah, so it's going to really come down to this last week, but not a bad position for you to be in at this point.
Now, we've been mentioning this last week, and of course, that's last week is the co-op randomizer. How are you two looking forward to? Are you two looking forward to this last week here?
I'm really excited to just yell in a voice call with Dante for an hour and 5 minutes,
and run into spike rollers and Lionels and Chomps and everything with those boots from the start.
Yep. I'm excited to write in our little document like LMAO, this room sucks. Good luck. Yeah, it should be fun. I love Randomizer, and I think that probably plays to my strengths more than most people. In terms of like improvising strats for really random room layouts. So I love Randomizer, and co-op is always a blast.
I say this season definitely has some modes that are play on the fly and hope that you see how much you really know your game. So Randomizer to end the season matches that description for sure.
Yeah, I feel very similarly. I love Randomizer. I've loved it since the very first test seeds that Zarby distributed way back when, and ironing out the horrible bugs back then. And
we iron out the spikes on bridges and spikes in torture rooms and stuff like that first.
Yeah, and cold stare not working in Desert Palace, all sorts of fun memories. The weird cold stare shell bugs. So yeah, I love Randomizer, and co-op's a blast. It's going to be Wired Wiki and myself for both matches, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome. I guess before we start closing up, any other thoughts from either of our runners tonight?
I think all of my practice pseudo boot cross key seeds were in the 210s or worse. So I was like, the race isn't gonna be worse than that, right? Like it can't be. So, yep, that's those are my last thoughts.
Awesome. Crowbell, anything else?
Yeah, this I having trouble organizing my thoughts. Oh my gosh, this was so much fun. I love this mode. Thanks to everyone that put on the restream and this. Yeah, thank you all so much.
Thank you for racing. Both make sure to follow these super runners once again. They put on excellent race for us tonight, and make sure don't forget to follow SpeedGaming and SpeedGaming 2 through 6 so you don't miss any racing action, not just in the Link's Past Randomizer League. And we do have a couple more races for you tomorrow. In fact, one of them is not as late as you. Is not going to be.
It's tomorrow, or it's sort of tomorrow. It's just not at a normal-ish time.
No, it's not. In fact, it's in about
3 hours.
3 hours from now. Yeah, it's going to be Zeke versus Orange, TM32 God Route versus the Bomb Squad, or on Speed Gaming at 2:40 a.m. here for the Eastern Coast people. So yeah, you guys got some late night random coming for you. The next,
I'd just like to say I love the note in the document for the schedule there. It says, yes, we're really going at 2:30 in the morning Eastern time. So yeah.
Our next match on the schedule, for those who don't want to stay up that late, that is going to be at 9:10 on Friday. Restream, of course, is to be determined at this point in time. And of course, make sure to follow our two trackers, Sayru, X, and Relkin, keeping those items up to date for us. This and keeping us honest up here in the booth. And of course, make sure to follow my co-commentator, Radical Sniper. Great working with you as always.
It was a pleasure.
And you can drop me a follow as well. I have been WolfLink0370. And from all of us here at Link to Pass Randomizer League, we can see you all next time. And thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.